Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday morning coaching call with Mortgage Coach. Every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Pacific, we're here to connect as a community of like-minded mortgage professionals. My name is Dave Savage. I'm the CEO of Mortgage Coach, and it's an honor to serve this community of loan officers. We've got a top realtor on the call today, and we're all here to deliver better advice to home buyers, helping them make great informed decisions and be advice providers, advice leaders in the industry. I want to do a shout out to my, I don't want to say newest friend, but Ryan Hills, who is has a show called the RESource.tv, asked me to come up and be a guest on his video show. So, there's a lot of folks out there creating video blogs. Obviously, everybody in the Mortgage Coach community, you respect video and what we could do from a rate quote perspective and how we deliver advice to home buyers. Ryan's got a great show. I really recommend you check it out. We talked about this article that came out that said #1 job to be automated is loan officers. I did my rant on the fact that I think a lot of loan officers have already been automated out of the business. But advice-based loan officers that love and use technology, never going to go anywhere. We also talked about mobile. He did a rant a couple weeks ago on Zillow and just talking about it from a realtor and loan officer perspective. I provided my commentary around that. So it was a really good video, really well done. RC, his right-hand man, and the guy who shoots the video, edits the videos, they're just a great team. And they're just loan officers that care about delivering value to home buyers and realtors. So I love these guys, and it was fun being on this call with you guys, and look forward to doing it again. So today we have Coach and Realtor Glenn Bill as our guest. I think Glenn, this is the third time you and I have done a call together. Is that right? Hey, Glenn, you're muted? Well, hopefully we get Glenn back in. By the way, Jacob, if you could confirm that everybody can hear me, or is that working?
Yes, Dave, we can hear you.
Okay, and if you could maybe text or connect with Glenn to help him connect and unmute himself. So, Glenn, we'll see you in here soon. I want to, like I said, this is the third time I've interviewed Glenn. I would say where he's delivered advice and insight to our community. The last time was in 2012, and he crushed it. I mean, just knocked it out of the park with value. We're going to repost that into our YouTube page at the end of this call. But Glenn is, not just a realtor, but he delivers a lot of value in the mortgage industry. He comes to a lot of these coaching calls as a guest himself, and really excited about the value he's going to bring as an active realtor in the market and as a speaker, leader, trainer. Glenn, by any chance, have you been able to unmute and jump back in the call?
I don't know. Am I there?
You are here. We can hear you, my man.
All right. Excellent.
Good to have you here. How often, I mean, seriously, do you come and listen to the calls as a realtor?
I try to listen every week. Your panels are great, and your community is inspiring and helps me stay on top of my game. So I appreciate you and all of the folks that are on for all the information I've gotten over the past year.
Good. Well, I'm gonna bring you in more formally in about 5 minutes. If you want to provide some colors, I do some updates from last week. I've got a couple of polls that I'm going to do. Feel free to jump in, Glenn, okay?
Sure.
All right. So first, if anybody's new to the call, I want to remind you to connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, connect with our YouTube page. We do record these calls, and they will be posted right after the call on our YouTube page. Last week's call with Jeremy Forcier and Michael Harrington was just exceptional. I mean, Jeremy always brings a lot of energy and a lot of value. Michael Harrington talked about how he's been able to, in Houston, Texas, go from an average loan amount of $150,000 to, I think he said, $270 is now his average loan amount. Maybe it was $290. So he talked about how he strategically did that. So if you missed that call, check it out. A couple of the big ideas that were shared that I just think are priceless, and I want to remind everybody to take action on. One was that Jeremy is doing Mortgage Coach total cost conversations in realtor offices. So he's going in with his laptop, he's going in with his iPad, and when he's delivering advice to home buyers, he's doing it in a place where his own realtor is seeing it, and other realtors are seeing it. So I do want to follow up and let everybody know that we did turn some of that call into scripts. So if you go to our blog, we have a Jeremy Forcier Killer Scripts to Win Realtor Relationships, just to help make that more actionable and give you guys a tool. Also, I wanted to do a quick survey and find out how many of you have actually taken action on this. So if you could, I'm going to post a poll question here. Have you recently used Edge in a realtor's office? If you could vote on this real quick. Everybody, you know how I like to get the participation up above 70%, so we've got something that's statistically valid. Is this a yes or no? Have you taken action on this idea that Jeremy brought to us on last week's call? By the way, Glenn, what do you think? How do you think folks are going to vote on this in terms of having a mortgage coach conversation on Edge in a realtor's office? Do you think they're going to say, yes, we're doing it, or no?
Well, it says, have you recently used Edge? So I'd say 1 out of 3 maybe recently used it.
Okay, well, I wish we at least had that. So, oh, you know what? The poll question got pushed wrong. But anyways, we had 15% said yes, 85 no. I think the way we asked it was a bit confusing. I guess the point I would want to make is, do you see the value if your loan officer did your pre-qual, had the total cost conversation in the real estate office? Would that be valuable for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so folks, make sure you take action on that idea. One more idea that came up was the idea of partnering with realtors, doing open houses, having some mortgage options available in mortgage coach fashion. So how many of you are actually out there driving open house experiences with realtors and using Edge as part of your experience? So Glenn, I mean, you coach a lot of realtors. Obviously, you also coach and mentor and deliver, presentations to mortgage companies. I mean, that's how we met. Was I saw you as you presented at Fairway, and I know you recently presented with another partner, friend of ours, Waterstone. What do you think on this? Is it important for realtors to deliver this kind of value and partner with realtors on open houses?
Well, I did your video the other day, and certainly imagine getting a ding on your mobile app right as you walk out of my open house. I mean, what does that say about the guy that's sitting in the open house? So, actually being there physically in the house with me, I think, I don't know of any originators that are doing that in our marketplace. I think that's nice, but I don't know. I think most realtors would prefer to be on their own, but certainly to have them equipped with an easy app and or link that they can fire to a mobile device as people walk out of the home, that's just something that nobody else can offer.
Perfect. Well, I want you to bring it. So your take is power them with the financial strategy. Hey, if you want to bring a case of waters to pass out, great. But arm the realtor, teach the realtor so they can deliver the mortgage options in a unique and valuable way. That's
correct.
The play you need.
Correct.
Beautiful. Cool. So another follow-up item was the Todd Duncan total cost video. Again, I've talked about this for 3 weeks because it's an important teaching that everybody on the call, how to deliver a total cost script. Let's face it, when it comes to Edge, that's the tip of the iceberg. What you say to position it, how you train the realtor and the home buyer matters. So make sure you watch that. You can just put in Todd Duncan in your app, or you can click on the link from our Facebook page, and it's a lot of other places. So if you have not heard this script, gone through this script, make sure you go through the script. I mean, it's important that you guys know how to have the total cost conversation, whether it's educating a realtor on how to execute an open house, or whether that's executing in a realtor's office. You need to know how to do that. You need to make sure that when you send the link to the home buyer, that you know how to have the total cost conversation with the home buyer. And again, Todd Duncan's video does a nice job of how to have that total cost conversation, and Edge does a great job of visualizing it. Total cost in charts on mobile. Again, make sure you loop in the realtor. Realtors want you to deliver that total cost insight, And realtors want to have access to what you quoted, so it saves them time. They don't have to play phone tag finding out what you said and how you said it. Glenn, before I bring you in and we do your official teaching, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you got it all, and I'll just be ready to go when you are.
All right, sounds good. So another thing I wanted to ask everybody as the mortgage coach community, if you're using the app, you love the app, and it's delivering value, please give us a review. You know, like it in the App Store, write a review saying how it's delivering value for you. There's a couple different places you can do that. Obviously, you can do it on your mobile device, and you can do it on your desktop. Just go to the app, see where it says write a review. It really helps us drive more value, more momentum in the energy in our community. So please add some value and bring it on. So let's get to the main show. As I said, I've seen Glenn present at Fairway myself. I've had him in coaching calls 2 other times. Knocked it out of the park with tremendous value. I want to make sure everybody knows how to connect with Glenn. So make sure you go to his website, gbunlimited.com. We're also going to take you to that towards the end of the call. But want to make sure you really connect with him. This is a guy that has been trained by the best of the best. This is a guy who's been a high school football coach, still very involved coach. He's been trained and mentored by Darren Hardy, who has been is a good personal friend and has been a leader in the mortgage coach community a number of times. And he's gone through a lot of training with Jeffrey Gittimer. And you guys all know what a raving fan I am of all of Jeffrey's work. I mean, no one does a better job of taking sales training and sales skills and teaching those in a way that resonates. So Glenn, first of all, why don't you tell a bit of your backstory with Jeffrey and with Darren, and then let's get into breaking down from your perspective how loan officers can be more successful.
Sure. Well, thanks again for having me, Dave. And, you know, about 5 years ago, Jeffrey was on the search for speakers to deliver his content to his customers. And through a lengthy auditioning process and through multiple auditions and a serious sifting through talent, I was fortunate enough to be chosen as one of 16 people to represent Jeffrey and his content to his customers. So I've been a Gittimer certified speaker since 2009 for the past 5 years, and then and that's kind of the speaker side of Jeffrey's business. And then Jeffrey 2 years ago opened up what's called the Certified Advisor Program, where he actually licenses his content with his 9 best-selling books to people that go through a 3-day course, pass some tests, and then you're able to go out and build and model your own training business with his material. So I'm fortunate that I'm one of the few people he has that actually has both designations with him, which has been, you know, really enjoyable. And Jeffrey's just a dear friend and has just taught me so much, I can't tell you. This past winter, I flew down to Miami and got to spend 3 days with Darren Hardy at his High Performance Forum. And boy, that was just jam-packed full of ideas, thoughts, processes from some of America's most powerful, influential, and successful CEOs. And I graduated from that experience with Darren. Darren, you know, started out as a real estate agent, and so through getting to meet him and talking about common backgrounds, Darren was kind enough to endorse me as a speaker to whoever, you know, I solicit. So, you know, to have both of those guys on my website giving me testimonials about my services, you know, just I can't thank them enough. And boy, has it been great for our business, for me getting out there, helping real estate agents sell more and helping loan originators convert realtor business.
Beautiful. Well, again, I'm looking forward to bringing all that wisdom, you know, as a realtor. If you could, I'm going to share your screen, but if you could give a bit of your backstory as a realtor, because you are active in today's market, and you're also doing a lot of teaching and training in both the mortgage and real estate space. So why don't you share that, and then I know you have a lesson for us, and you have some things you want to share that will help everybody in the mortgage coach community be more successful.
Sure. I have been a real estate agent for 25 years. I was a college football player, and my career ended short, and I got into the real estate game when I was 19 years old. Became a top producing agent immediately in a company because I tend to be a salesperson that understands the simplicity of sales. And although I am a student of sales training and I love training, sooner or later you have to break things down to make it simple. And as I always tell our real estate agents, look, you got to find people that want to own homes and write offers, and you got to find people that want to sell homes and get listing contracts signed. And my training that I've devised for real estate agents helps people get to those two contracts. I always say our best friend in real estate is a purchase agreement and or a listing agreement. So it's about getting those signed. And my goal is to get one signature a day from the public, whether that's on a purchase agreement, listing agreement, or any form that facilitates me getting to a closing table. After I was in the business as a top producer at the age of 23, I purchased a franchise, a real estate franchise with 16 people doing $800,000 in revenues over the past 17 years, or for 17 years, built my company through my training at our Tuesday sales meetings, and grew that company to 3 offices, 157 agents with close to $9 million in revenues. In 2007, 3 days before the bubble burst, I closed on one of the largest mergers, franchise mergers we had, and sold everything, sold the building, sold the agents, sold everything, and began my speaking and training career. And what I did, I was fortunate for 17 years, every Tuesday, I had developed our sales staff through our Tuesday morning sales meetings, and I kept notes for 17 years on everything I taught our agents. And I created a system called the Source of Sales Training System, which will be coming out in a book within the year. And I go around the nation and I teach real estate agents in my course called Source of Sales, which deals with personal mastery, prospecting mastery, buyers and seller mastery, and then transferring your value and giving value. And then that's branched into coaching loan originators and working with mortgage companies on how to get in the heart and mind of a real estate agent. And that just opened up a whole new can of worms. And boy, that's what I really enjoy doing, because it's always helpful to get outside of your industry to get new information. And there wasn't a lot of people that are in the business who have the ability to speak or speak professionally. I'm a member of the National Speakers Association, so I've been fortunate that people that are loan originators like to hear it from the street. And my team and I did 136 units. None of them were foreclosures. None of them were new home builds. These were face-to-face, pound the ground, buyers and sellers in what I call the retail real estate market. And I pride myself on saying I'm a retail real estate agent. We don't cut fees. We charge more than anybody else in our market. We feel like we are the best. We build the value, and that's our model. Our model is helping real people, not banks, not builders. We do a little of that, but very, very little. And what we're going to talk about today is really a sales lesson that hopefully will be new to you. And it'll give you some information maybe that you haven't heard. As I've listened to all the calls and from speaking to mortgage companies, you hear a lot of the same message, and I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of the same messaging. And in my presentation today, but I hope I'm going to put a different spin on it. I'm going to try to make it fun. I'm going to try to get our listeners to think about how they do their business, and I hope that I can open up some minds, and I hope that I can spur some activity that they want to know more from what I have to say. So I just invite our folks to sit back, get a pen. I'm going to be asking several questions, and I think there'll be times in the presentations where I say you really need to take notes and answer these questions, and I think that will help them with their realtor conversion. So with that, that's basically my introduction, and if you want me to get started, I will.
Well, I absolutely want you to get started. I think it's a real gift to have someone with your experience, your wisdom, delivering value to the mortgage coach community. Folks, I will be looking at questions, so if you want to answer those in our GoToMeeting environment, put in questions, provide comments, and Glenn, rock it out. You come to these calls, and I know you've prepared something that you think will be very valuable, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's roll.
Wonderful. Well, again, thanks for having me, and I hope that, what time do I have right now? I just want to know how many minutes I got, Dave. Got about 30 minutes, it looks like.
Hey, you go as long as you want. I mean, if you close the call, that's fine. I think 35 to 40, we'll be right on time.
Cool. I want to respect your guys' time, that's for sure. So I want everybody to sit back and clear their minds and get ready for hopefully a presentation that is original. And I want you to think back to when you were a part of a participation, whether it be sport, maybe you were in the band and you had a band leader that you wanted to get approval from, or you're in the theater, maybe on a dance team, but maybe you were just an athlete like I was, a football player, a basketball player. Any sport, this will do. And my speech today, or my workshop today, is called, Are You in the Game or on the Bench? And what I have right here are what I like to call 4 loan originators. You know, these guys are on the bench. It looks like they've had some time. And old number 46 looks a little bit dejected. He looks like maybe a realtor just pulled him out of the game. Maybe a realtor's brother just got in the mortgage business and he's down here looking at trying to plot and scheme on, and how do I get back in the game? He just looks a little dejected. Number 85 here sitting next to him looks like his buddy in the mortgage business that's, I don't know, possibly making fun of him because he just lost a client. Number 84 sitting back going, oh my God, am I the best? And he's thinking about probably, I don't know, a good-looking real estate agent that he's going to ask out on a date. But boy, he seems nice and relaxed. And number 66 sitting on that bench, in my opinion, looking like, how in the hell am I going to get through QM? So these are guys on the bench. They're loan originators. And what I want you to do is think of yourself as a player. I want you to think about this guy. This guy was a loan originator back in the beginning of his career, was a superstar. Got drafted to the pros, was a superstar, ran into some personal problems, which can happen with loan originators. Came back to the profession, became a starter, and one of the bench players behind him was better. And now he's sitting on the bench. After being at the height of heights, he's on the bench. And this loan originator doesn't look happy. Of course, he is Michael Vick, who was on top and is now just trying to find a job. And I relate with that because, you know what, nothing pissed me off more than being benched as a player. And my question to you is have you ever been benched as a loan originator? Depending on how long you've been in the business, sooner or later it's going to happen. And you could get benched by a real estate agent or a company based on performance, based on one deal. There's many different reasons you can get benched. The question is not that being benched is the issue, but what are you going to do after you get benched? But there's nothing that upsets me more than being benched at the beginning of a game and not given the opportunity to play. And I think with most loan originators, that resonates because that's what I hear. How can I get an opportunity to at least play? And I love this photo. You know, this photo right here shows these kids sitting on the bench, and this, I don't know, it looks like his number is number 32. And that's a loan originator that's saying, why aren't you giving me an opportunity? He's looking, saying, I got game. I know I can play, but you got me sitting on the bench. And he looks determined and ready to go. And he may resonate with you. The other reason I like this is because these feelings of being benched or not being chosen or not getting the opportunity, oftentimes they do start when we're kids, when we're part of group activities and group participations, when we're not given the opportunity to go out front. And again, you know, what I think about is what's holding a lot of people back is they're focused on why they're not getting the opportunity instead of thinking beyond that. And they're getting stuck in the resentment of that. So here's the thing. There's a correlation between a customer and a salesperson. The customer being a real estate agent. Look, I have customers. My customers are buyers and sellers, and I'm a salesperson. But for the point of this call, I want you to understand that you're the salesperson and the real estate agent is the customer. This correlation also exists between a coach and a player. The customer being the coach and the player being the salesperson. I want you to try to think of your customer as a coach. And I want you to think of yourself as a player that coach needs to start. You want to be in that coach's starting rotation. And you want that coach to play with you. Which brings up the question, why do you think coaches choose certain players? Or why do real estate agents choose certain loan originators? Two words, risk and relationship. As Dave told you, I was a coach for 25 years. I was a position coach on a highly successful high school football team. We won 13 state championships. And through 25 years, even though we've won all the state titles, I always had players, and especially parents, tell me I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But you know what? I had to choose what players I was going to play. And ultimately, when I was thinking about this call, I chose the players that I felt were the least amount of risk and who resonated with me and created a relationship where I could trust them. See, the customer gets to decide who to play with. The customer gets to decide when they play. Let me just hit on that real quick. So many loan originators, I get prospected by, 7 loan originators a day. And what they don't understand is I get to decide when we play. I get to decide when we're going to put you in, which means I'd rather you be pulley with me than pushy. So many people are impatient when they approach a real estate agent and they want that boom, they want that loan right now. There's ways to do that, but ultimately the customer gets to decide who we play with, when we play. But here's what I'd want you to write down. They also select how they select who to play with. Now, one question I think you need to either rephrase or think about when you're engaging real estate agents is, how do you select who you play with? Awesome engaging question. I'm going to give you 5 engagement questions at the end of this that I think are great approaches to real estate agents to get in front of them.
Hey, Glenn?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to jump in. You know that error message that keeps popping up? Instead of click the X, there's an option. It's the 3rd option down. And if you click that, it will stop popping up and it won't change your presentation. So when it comes up next, just click the bottom option.
I'm a sales guy, not an IT guy. Thank you.
Well, that's my job, man. All right, keep it rocking.
I appreciate it. So the bottom line is we get to say who we trust to play, who we're going to be loyal to, and who we will give a shot to when things aren't working. And, you know, obviously when our loan originators get a shot or I give a new player a shot, it's because something's not working with my existing relationship. And the point is, so does the coach, right? The customer gets to choose and the coach gets to choose. When it comes to getting your opportunity to play, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. So we get to choose when it comes to getting your opportunity to play. And how we choose is it really comes down to your relationship. Well, you know, that's a theme you hear every week on Mortgage Coach. But I'm going to try to help you understand how those relationships are started, how those relationships are made, and how they can be solidified. Your relationship is based on what you are doing or not doing to alter the perception of your customer. So, question, what am I doing or what am I not doing to alter the perception of my customer, to alter that perception of the realtor? Well, certainly, you know, creating edge videos and attending mortgage coach sessions, that's something that you're proactively doing to alter the perception of your customer. I mean, being able to, as we talked about, giving a realtor a edge video with financial breakdown of the open house I'm sitting in, to be able to send that to a mobile device as they walk out of the house from me, that certainly will alter my perception of you as a loan originator. But the other thing I think you want to focus on is, what am I not doing to alter the perception? You know, by not acting, as we saw in the thing, 15% or 15% of you did not take action on what's going on. By not taking action, that alters the perception, or that continues the perception is, this is a player I don't want to play with. So hopefully I make that point well. Your customer is not your coach. I get that. Okay, that's why I said clear your mind. I'm not by any means saying that real estate agents are your coach and you should be listening to them for coaching advice. You should be listening to them as your customer, but they're not your coach. However, the relationship you have with your customer, with your realtor, is very much like the relationship you have with that coach. With that coach when you were a kid or in high school that maybe didn't give you the shot, that maybe didn't make you a starter, or maybe he did make you a starter. See, it's that relationship where, how do I get somebody to give me the shot to be in the starting rotation? You know, I think every real estate agent has 3 to 5 loan originators that I would call our starters for them. I just went to a guy 25 years in the business, and when it was all said and done, he really has no starting players. Now, he does big loans, and he may only refer 5 or 6 loans a year. But when I really asked him who was in his starting lineup, he wasn't really loyal to any of them. And he would refer whoever was at the top of mind, which is another point I'll just bring up to get on a side thing. Real estate agents, sometimes we just refer the people who come to our mind right now. That's crazy, but it's true. And I think all of you experienced loan guys and gals know sometimes you'll just get a referral because it's as simple as being at the top of the mind. It's really as simple as the relationship. So the question is, Glenn, how do I get in the starting lineup? You know, every broker has a starting lineup. And then they have bench players, people they're looking at, people that have prospected them, people that they've had meetings with. But you only get one shot. And you better deliver and make it count when you get the one shot. Here's a guy, you might know him, Captain Comeback. Not Jim Harbaugh, this is Joe Montana, considered one of the greatest winners of all time in the NFL. This is Joe Montana with his coach, Ara Parsegian. Joe was a sophomore at Notre Dame. The quarterback position at Notre Dame, probably one of the most pressure-packed positions in America in college athletics. Joe was a third-string quarterback and was given an opportunity to come in the game, I believe it was against North Carolina, threw 3 touchdown passes, take the Irish on to victory, and never relinquished the position. As a football coach, we tell our guys, You never know when your opportunity is going to come. But when it comes, you better perform. And you better perform better than the guy that's in front of you. Because you know what? You may not get the job back. So my question is if you're a bench player with certain realtors and they give you a shot, what is your wow factor? What are you really going to do for that coach, that customer, to step back and go, I really better be using this guy all the time? So here's what I'd want you to write down. What is my wow factor? When I get an opportunity to play, how am I going to absolutely blow that agent's mind so he doesn't or she doesn't ever want to use another originator again? If you don't have a plan, I suggest you get one. I can help you with that on later calls. Because here's the bottom line. Starters get more than one chance. And if you're a starter, you want more than one chance. If you're a loan originator that's in one of the starting five with your realtor relationship, you better believe you want more than one chance. And you say, how and why do they get all the playing time? You know, bench players and starters are treated differently. So number one, what I'd want you to do is to really clarify, am I a bench player or am I a starter? Or am I not even on the team with the realtor? And then I want you to identify those realtors who you're bench players with and say, I need to create a strategy, which I'm going to give you, to become a starting player. And I think I want you to start talking to them about being on their starting team. Put a little pressure on them. But how and why do they get all the playing time? Well, I'm going to tell you, number one, it's not fair. But one thing we always tell our players is the world's not fair, it's round. So deal with it. But it's not fair that is how the game is played. That's how the game's played. Okay, you get one shot, you either thrive or you don't. Why? Why do starters get more time than bench players? So here's what I hear on the street. You got to give me a shot, Glenn. Why do you always give this person a shot? I'm going to tell you why. And in my opinion, this is like the number one reason I use the loan people I use. It is easier. It's just easier to go with my starters than go with a backup. See, when I refer a loan originator to a buyer, it's just easier because I'm familiar with my starter. When I go to a backup, I'm a little uneasy because you just don't know. Why? Because I trust them more, and there's a deeper relationship. You know what? I've been into the battles with my starting loan originators. I haven't been to battle with you yet. So what I'm trying to do is help you understand why realtors sometimes click. I had a really smart loan originator telling me I'm a click breaker. You know, the bottom line is real estate agents are clicky, and they're clicky with their loan originators. You need to be a click breaker, and you're going to do that with engagement questions, and I'm going to give you some engagement questions here towards the end. Aha, you know what? That's called loyalty. It's easier. I trust them. Deeper relationship. I'm just going to go with my starter. Okay? Some people might call it stupid, but it's called loyalty. That's what it is. Here's a coach with two players. He's pretty loyal to them. Why is he loyal? Because they always win. Okay? When's the last time your real estate agent grabbed you by the neck and gave you a big hug? That's when you know you got loyalty. What created this loyalty? A long season, lots of practices, lots of meetings, lots of challenges, lots of joint goals. We're part of a team. I got a quote for you that you can talk to realtors about, and I say this all the time. I teach this. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. The more you can say that to real estate agents, you know what, I believe that we're all in this together. We're a team. That will resonate. Nice little buzzword for you. Love that photo. That's a really happy real estate agent with two really happy mortgage guys. All right, so how many agents are loyal to you? I want you to really think about that. How many agents have hugged you around your neck and said, man, I love you. You guys are the best. I mean, you're just phenomenal. How many? That's something I would do after this call, is write it down. And if it's 1, it's 1. If it's 8, it's 8. My guess is it's less than 10, maybe less than 5. Well, I'll tell you how many agents are loyal to you. Not enough. There's not enough agents loyal to you, and I'm going to help you a little bit later here. I think I got 5 or 6 points on how to build loyalty and how to change perception. Here's a great book you can read, written by my mentor, Jeffrey Gitomer. Customer satisfaction is worthless, but customer loyalty is priceless. If you haven't read this book, I'm going to give you an opportunity to sign up for Jeffrey's video training. But if you're a reader, go out and buy the book, and it's going to give you some great ideas on how to create loyalty with real estate agents. My suggestion, though, when you ask these questions of yourself, is don't focus on the starters. Yeah, I think it's important to know what the people who are better than you, who have the business, are doing. But I'm really a big believer in that you've got to focus on yourself. The great Jim Rohn said, you know what, things aren't going to change unless I change. So my question and my challenge to you is this: how much time have you spent on personal development in the past year? How many books on attitude have you read in the past year? How much have you truly, really worked on yourself in the past year? My SOS training that I do with real estate agents, the very first thing we do is self-mastery, because I can teach you what to do with buyers, I can teach you what to do with sellers, I can teach you how to prospect, and I can teach you how to build value. But you are your most important customer, and until you're right with yourself, and until you're committed enough to yourself to continue to train and make yourself better as a person, not a loan originator, as a person, I think all the stuff that you learn can be futile. Here's my question: who are you lifting up? Are you lifting your customer up? Are you going behind your real estate agent and grabbing a hold of him and lifting him up with the crowd roaring and everybody feeling good? You know, there's nothing better than winning a game in front of a big audience. But there's nothing better than your player grabbing you, hugging you, and holding you up. My question is, what are you doing to hold up, to lift up your real estate agents? Or are you a loan originator that's constantly begging and interrupting and asking for the business? This loan originator showed up at my door the other day. Probably not going to do business with that loan originator. Bench players are angry, resentful, and full of excuses most of the time. I mean, just think about it. It's not easy to be benched. It's not easy to be not chosen. And so instead of being angry at the real estate agents, being resentful at the relationships and making excuses and sitting on the bench and pouting like Mr. Atkinson is here, you need to take a lesson from a bench player that got it. See, people that are on the bench are usually not patient. They're not focused. They're not open to advice, and they're not supportive. Measure yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 when you're prospecting agents who are not doing business with you. How patient are you? How focused are you remaining? How open to advice are you? And how supportive of you are of their efforts, whether you have them or not. This is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was a bench player. He played behind Brett Favre. Now, I'm a football guy. Brett Favre obviously was a legend and really, really good. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL, some would argue. Most might argue. But you know what? He had to sit behind a starter. And here he is being supportive, getting the advice, and following the lead of a great one. Many people, including me, would tell you that Aaron Rodgers was better than Brett Favre at the end, okay? But he didn't get the opportunity to play. And I know that a lot of you are out there saying, I'm better than the guy they're using, but I got to have the opportunity to play. Well, why? Right? Why do you feel that? Because, you know what? You're competitive, right? Bench players are competitive, just like you. understand this. Coaches can feel it, just like the agents you're calling on. Let's talk about the likability factor, and I'll bring this all in. This is like the most important thing I say. The way you feel about somebody is the way they feel about you. Okay? Here's my question. What is your perception and how do you feel about realtors? Let's go back. The way I feel about somebody is the way they feel about you. When I go and speak to loan origination, when I go to speak to mortgage companies, I always survey the loan originators, and I ask them this question. What is your perception and how do you feel about realtors? Usually 60 to 70% have something negative to say about real estate agents. Okay? They're greedy, they want me to spend all my money, they're not loyal, they're a pain in the ass, whatever it might be, it's negative. Well, trust me, if that's the way you feel about loan originators or about realtors, that's kind of how they're feeling about you. So when you're calling on real estate agents, this gets down to, do you like real estate agents or not? They don't like you either. So the point of this is this. You need to find a way to fall in love and start liking your customer, or to start liking real estate agents better, or at a minimum, stop calling on agents you don't like. Only call on those agents that you're attracted to, and you're going to find you're going to have much more success and like your business a lot better. It's funny, I put this, don't bitch about the realtor because someone will tell them. Well, I think we all know who that someone is. Your competitor. I had a guy that was calling on me, complained to a competitor about me, and within 4 minutes, the competitor called and said, hey, Glenn, you won't believe what this loan originator just said about you. So, that's pretty basic, but I would say be guarded with what you say about other realtors in public because it will get back to them. But here's another don't, and I know that this should be different. This should be somewhat foreign. But you know what? Don't talk about business with the real estate agent. Sure, you're going to have to. But the less you talk about business, the more your loyalty and relationship is going to build. Talking about business with me is not going to build my relationship with you. So my advice to you is don't talk about business. You cannot help my business. Now, on the previous call, I talked about 3 different levels of agents, the super agent, the producing agent, and the new agent. You can help a new agent's business. You could probably help a producing agent's business. But there's very few loan originators that are going to give me some aha moment on how I can sell more real estate. I mean, that's what I do, okay? You can't help my business. But you know what you can do? You can just get me the money and make it easy. Here's my point. Here's why I love my loan originators. They make it really easy, and they get me the money very easily. To me, the ultimate relationship builder of a loan originator and myself. So you keep asking, what do I have to do to get an opportunity to play? Because I hear that question all the time. Not really a good question. Who or what do you have to become in order to get that opportunity is a better question. Again, the great Jim Rohn. You set goals not for what you get, for what you will become. Back to more personal development. Who or what do I have to become to get that opportunity? Who do I have to become to get better? Are you looking at improving? And who, as a person, do I have to become to get better? I would call it to be more attractive, okay? You're only going to get business and build relationships if you are attractive, if you are working on yourself. I'm going to give you some ideas on how to do that. Here's my question. Are you the best there is now? Period. You know what? You either are or you're not. And if you're not, then I would identify those people that are the best and find out why they are. But that's a real important question to ask yourself. Am I the best that there is now? Do you know why you don't get the opportunity? Now, I want you to brace yourselves because coaching for 25 years, I've had to answer this. And this is a brutal answer. And this upsets people. So here we go. I'll tell you why you don't get the opportunity. And this isn't an easy message to deliver. Because you're not good enough. Okay? You're not good enough to be a starter. 25 years of coaching, I could only start 3 guys at my position. But boy, oh boy, the people behind them were sure they were good enough. But you know what? They weren't good enough. And that's something you got to deal with. And if you're not good enough, it's time to start working on how to become better. Certainly, Edge software is going to help you do that. Yet, once you get done training, or if I get done coaching and teaching you, you'll be better, you will be the best, and you will become a starter. So are you really better than the player in front of you, right? Real estate agents have 3 to 5 starters. I want you to, number one, find out and identify who they are, and then really ask yourself, you know what, am I really better than them? At a minimum, you are not perceived as good enough by your customer. So you know what, you may be better, but the problem is you're not perceived by the coach or the realtor as being good enough. That's the issue. It's the issue of perception. Number one, how do you perceive yourself? Number 2, how does the market perceive you? Number 3, how do your peers perceive you? Number 4, and most importantly, how does your customer perceive you? If they're not doing business with you, they're not perceiving you the way you wish to be perceived. I love this. I'm going to give you a 30-second break. All right, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. The question is are you really ready to play? You know, sometimes this feels like me when I work with new agents, and we're on the bench, and I'm the coach, and these are all a bunch of loan originators that do not look like they're really ready to play. Love that photo. You probably got that on some emails. The question is are you really ready to play? Here's some identifiers to let you know if you are ready to play. Number 1, and these are things I would write down. Am I different? And if you're different, list 1 to 2 to 3 ways that you are really different. Number 2, are you creative with your approach? See, your approach to a real estate agent's everything. There's a lot of trainers that will tell you, here's what you say when you're in front of an agent. But there's very few trainers that will tell you how to get in front of the agent and get the meeting. That would be called your approach. Now, I know Todd, I think, has some really great scripts on that, so I appreciate him for that. Number 3, do you enhance me as a person? Do you enhance my business? Number 4, we just talked about it. Are you attractive enough as a person, not as a loan originator? Okay? Everybody's got bells and whistles. But I do business with people, not with loan originators. Do you create the right environment? Interesting. What are you doing to create the right environment? These are 5 identifiers to know if you are going to be a starter. I would really hone in and find 2 to 3 things that answer each of these questions to help you become better. Or are you a commodity, right? I mean, how many times do we hear this? You're just a commodity. Well, everybody's not the same. See, players aren't the same. Players are different with different personalities, different likability, different effort, different talent. The bottom line is you're not a commodity, but everybody's trying to commoditize your business. You can't let that happen by answering those 5 questions. You're going to find out how to do that. If you're just the same, you're going to stay on the bench. That's the bottom line. If you're the same as everybody else, even if you're the same as the starting players for your realtors, you're going to stay on the bench. Jeffrey Gitomer's Little Red Book of Selling is a game changer for you. This teaches you how not to be the same. He has a couple quotes I love. When all things Being equal, people want to do business with their friends. It's so true. I just lost a listing because you know what? Agent was a better friend. So, you know, we're the same, we're equal, but if it's all equal, they're going to do business with their friends, and when things are not quite as equal, they will still do business with their friends. So like, I know you're out there sitting going, I am so much better than the loan guy they're using or gal they're using. I understand, but you know what? You're not as good as friends with them. So I always tell people, quit going for the meat and go for the friendship. Go for that relationship. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. This gets into what am I doing in the real estate community that is attracting me to say, I want to buy what you got, right? I want to buy it. What are you doing to create that atmosphere where agents are saying, hey, I want to buy from you? These guys on the bench are happy. You know what? They don't need to change. There's a bunch of loan originators. Well, let's be honest. These are the loan originators that aren't on the call. These people are sitting on a bench outside, looking around, doing their refis, being happy, and making mediocre income while you guys are with me. So they're going to keep sending mailers that don't work. I love this. Hey, Glenn, are you showing homes this weekend? Please have your buyers call me for a pre-approval. Gutsy? Yeah. Easy? Yeah. No relationship. Am I giving him business? No. I mean, I actually get this on my email. Now, I know people on this call aren't doing this. My advice, if you are, stop. Very rarely do I go, God, I hope I get a great email that I can refer a loan originator to. Glenn, I'm so happy it's spring. Great time of the year and the weather's warm. Oh, my God, please. Right? If you're sending out this kind of spam, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. It's not going to work. Click here to give referrals. Yeah, I'll refer you. I don't even know you. And asking questions that don't work. I love some of the questions I get when I sit in my office. Hey, Glenn, can we take some time and sit down to discuss your business? Don't take any of my time. I can never get it back. Bad question. I will say no. Are you happy with your current relationship? I will say yes. Stop asking me dumb questions. By the way, they are not on this call. By the way, the people that I just referred to are not on this call. I am glad that you are on this call. It's an honor to speak with you because I know you guys seek to be better. I'd like to first of all tell you why you are valuable to me. What amazes me is loan originators don't know how valuable you are to the realtor, and realtors certainly don't know how valuable you are to them. So what I'd like you to do is puff your chest out a little bit and maybe really get in tune with how freaking important you are. You guys are really, really important. You provide the cash, right? I can't sell real estate without the cash. Now, I know you can't go in and brag and beat real estate agents over the head, but understand, none of this works unless I got money to close on a home. That's really important to me, and I understand that. I don't get paid without you. I can't feed my family without you. I can't send my kids to school without you. I can't buy nice clothes without you. I can't entertain my wife without you. You guys get me paid. That's huge. Understand how important you are. You make it easy on me, right? I give you the loan, we close the loan. No problems. I know there's problems that go on behind the scenes, but good loan originators don't tell me. They just close the deal. They make it easy. You make me look great. You make me look like a hero. One of the best things you can do is prop your realtor up to their buyers when they refer you. Very old concept. I'm not sure that that's being done. Don't be fake and salesman-y about it, but just genuinely express how valuable your realtor is to them. The bottom line is my loan originators, man, they're somebody I like and they're fun to be around. So are the realtors you're working with, do you like them, and are they fun to be around? If you don't like who you're working with, don't work with them. The whole key is this: like them, fun to be around. That's what my guys are. Hey, you guys are my center fielder. When things go wrong, you guys are running to the left field, right field. You're going backwards. You're catching balls over the shoulder. You're my center fielder. You bring it home, okay? That's what you are to me, my center fielder. I'd like to tell you how you can change my perception of you. When we talked about I'm better than him, well, and you're not good enough, well, the bottom line is our perception is you aren't good enough. Here's some ideas for you. Number one, promote other agents in my community through social media and or events. There's nothing that bothers me more than when a loan originator promotes a different agent in my marketplace, that my first instinct is to go to that loan originator and say, hey, I'm as good as this guy. Promote me. Promote me. Trust me, that's a killer strategy. Get in front of the transactions and make me deal with you. Number one, consumer-based marketing is a must for loan originators. The loan originators I have no control over are the ones that have a strong relationship with the consumer. They say, no, Glenn, we're going to use XYZ mortgage. I don't want to meet your people. Consumer-based marketing, huge for you. For sale by owners, huge. I have a whole complete program on for sale by owners for loan originators that's killer and unbeatable. And cross sales, obviously, you know, to impress during a cross sale, the wow factor, huge. Research me, engage me, and support what I'm doing outside of real estate. This comes into what I teach is called the targeting process. When you cold call me, you're interrupting me 100% of the time. It's a sales call, and you don't even know who I am or what I'm about. You need to target 10 agents. You need to research them. You need to find what they do outside of real estate, and you need to support them. You will be amazed at how quickly they will do business with you and make you a starter. Become a leader or an expert who others listen to in the business. That's through blogging, writing articles, doing events at your local board. I'm attracted to loan originators that dress the best, talk the best, educate the best, deliver the best, and surround themselves with the best. That's just me. I'm a premium buyer. My question is do you embody all 5 of those? Okay, here is the best marketing idea in the world. My loan originators have been doing this, and they are killing it. Purchase a hyper-local market area and .com it, and then give it to me, or raffle it off, or do whatever you want to do. I specialize in an area in Indianapolis called Broad Ripple. Well, I did this for myself. I got broadripplehomes.com. But if you have, like, you know, let's say it's chathamhills.com, normandybeach.com, I don't care. I would be going out, target the agents you want, find out what areas they look in, where they work, .com the neighborhood, and then if you own that domain name, chances are they're going to be attracted to you. Chances are their perception of you is going to change, like, immediately. I've seen loan originators use this strategy and pick up big-time agents right now. Better yet, show them how to make money with it and work with it, okay? Make it a success with them. I'd like to give you 5 questions that I think are engaging. Number 1, what is the one way to get an agent to give you a chance? Ask better questions. I'm going to give you 5 lead-ins. This can be found in the Little Red Book with Jeffrey, called engagement. Asking questions that make agents think. Do your questions that you're asking make agents think, and do they lead back to you with an answer? The challenge is this, to have the real estate agent look at you and say, my God, nobody's ever asked me that before. When an agent says to you, that's a great question, or no one's ever asked me that before, make sure you're writing that down and saying, I need to use this all the time. Here we go. Hold on. If you ask compelling questions, it is impossible for the prospect to just sit there. Again, most questions that I'm asked, I can sit there, say yes or no, and they're not good questions. Here's my challenge. Do you have 25 of these questions ready to go at all times? You take what's in red, these are the lead-ins, and then create your own. I'm going to give you 5. Mr. Realtor, what do you look for when referring an originator to work with your client? Lead-in, what do you look for? Number 2, Mr. Realtor, what have you found to be the best way to choose your mortgage partner? killer question. I can't say yes, I can't say no. And you know what's great? None of these questions are asking you to spend money on me. Number 3, how do you propose I get an opportunity to fund a purchase? Love that question. 4, how do you determine who to use as your preferred lending partner? Why is that a deciding factor would be your follow-up. And the last one, what makes you choose one originator over another? Now these are prime time examples of engaging questions that lead back to you, that make agents think, that I promise you if you use will create better dialogue. Oh, here's a bonus. What do you like about creating loan competition for your buyers? I think that one's awesome. So I'd also like to let you in on a secret. There are no secrets. However, there are ways to engage, attract, and approach that are better than others. I hope you feel that I've given you some ideas and resources on how to accomplish that. If you want more, all you got to do is hire me. My phone number is there, 317-590-7757. Send me a text with your name, company, and number, and I will get back to you. I do seminars for real estate agents and make you the hero in your local marketplace. I can talk about that. Or if you are a manager or an owner of a mortgage company and would like me to speak to your loan originators, I can do that as well. I suggest you visit my website and see what people who attend my seminars say about me, and listen to industry experts and leaders like Darren Hardy and Jeffrey Gittimer talk about how I can influence your career and help you sell more. This is my SOS 2.0 event, Source of Sales. I can do that in any market you want. I do webinars before and after the event, and I help create your strategy to get you anywhere between 100 to 200 realtors in the room with me. I sell you, and we blow up your business. What I want you to do is look at GittimerVT.com. My coupon code is 1013. We'll waive your sign-up fee, but you will have Jeffrey Gittimer on video with all 16 of his books at your fingertips at any time you want on his Gittimer training service. So go to Gittimer VT, put in my coupon code of 1013. Lastly, here's what I want you to do today. Target 10 realtors, take action on at least one of my ideas, write out the answers to my questions, call an agent, and tell them you want to be a starter. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, find me on LinkedIn, or find me on YouTube. I thank you for your time, and I hope that this was of value to you.
So, Glenn, I mean, great job, fantastic presentation, lots of great insights. No question, you delivered massive value. Really appreciate that. I particularly loved, just the slide where you talked about perception and what's everybody doing out there to drive that perception. Really appreciated, Glenn, that you created an edge video. So everybody on this call, if you want to hear Glenn talking and scripting out things. Glenn, have you created that FSBO script that we talked about yesterday?
I have not, but it'll be up within the week.
Okay, so right now, if you go to the Edge app or you click on it, we'll promote it on our Facebook page. Go to the Glenn Bill. You'll get some scripts from Glenn and how he thinks you can use Edge to deliver more value to realtors. And at the end of the day, that perception game. How do you sound different? How can you be different? Exactly how can you do it? You guys all know. You've got a tool so that when you provide mortgage options to a home buyer, it's different. It's a different conversation, and it's visually different. So it's a great differentiator that every time you send a mortgage options to a borrower, they're getting it in a different way. The realtor's getting it in a different way. I know, Glenn, one of the ways that we reconnected, while I interviewed you a few years ago, I know you reached out because you had a couple mortgage coach loan officers that had reached out to you and they had done it in a different way. I mean, what are your thoughts on when a loan officer comes to you with mortgage coach content, how do you perceive that as different and more valuable?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is it blew my mind, right? I mean, I called you immediately and was like, I can't. It was Don Shanley from Waterstone Mortgage, so credit to Don. And, you know, I'm a team leader. He took two of my brand new agents, talked to them through USDA. And, you know, they did open houses for me. He sent a mortgage coach video for both open houses. We sent those to the open house leads. But, you know, what he did was a little promo for me about, hey, how good the Glenn Bill Group is, and made me look like a hero. And, you know, trust me, real estate agents love to be told they're great. So here's the point, 25 years in the business, right? Thousands, over 10,000 transactions. Not once has that ever happened to me. So totally blows my mind, totally changed my perception, totally put Don on my starting team like that.
Beautiful. So Mortgage Coach members, you're on this call. Hopefully you got a tremendous amount of value. If anybody is new to the Mortgage Coach community or you're on this call as an invite, let us know if you'd like to know more about Mortgage Coach. Just raise your hand right now and say, yeah, I want to get a demo. I want to know more about it. Or if you're on a team and you were invited by your team leader and you're not using this on a regular basis, let us know. So couple review to make this actionable for everybody. You know, you got to watch the Glenn Bill videos. I mean, when I promote these videos, I'm promoting them because it's part of the educational process. It's part of the baby steps to being successful. So just being on this call, great training, but now you got to take action on it. You gotta watch the Glenn Bill video. You got to follow up with the scripts that we provide. And you got to put them into action into the market. I mean, call a realtor and have the right conversation. Create an edge in a realtor office. You know, power them. So we're here to help you. Again, these Tuesday calls are to provide ideas and inspiration around core strategies. This Tuesday, we're going to or Thursday at 9 o'clock, we're going to focus on how to create mortgage coach purchase scenarios really quickly, really efficiently with templates. So there's a great template video, just 5 minutes, showing you how to do that to make it easier and faster for you to create those open house flyers, easier and faster to have that government versus conventional scenario. So come check us out on Thursday. And also for all you Mortgage Coach members, if you don't want to wait till Thursday, you can just go to our support page, put in templates, and if you want to be able to create a mortgage strategy in Mortgage Coach for purchase, and you want to do it in a couple minutes, learn more about the templates feature. So Glenn, thank you so much. I know you did a lot of time to prepare for this. This was a unique presentation for the Mortgage Coach community. As we wrap up today's call, any final words on your part?
No, like I said, I just love listening to everybody's content. I would encourage you to go to the getemrvt.com site, and if you feel like you need to change your perception in the market, give me a call or a text or Facebook me, and I can discuss how I can come to your market, make you a hero, change your perception, and easily get you 3 to 10 loans after my event.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for coming in. Thanks for preparing. Again, remember this call has been recorded. It will be posted up in the Mortgage Coach community later today. Have a great week, everybody. See some of you on Thursday. See everybody else next week. Have a great day. Take care, everybody.